We're gonna get this party started. We're gonna get this party started. We're gonna get this party started. It's a Bible reading party. We're gonna get this party started. We're gonna get this party started. We're gonna get this party started. It's a Bible reading party. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Hello, hello. Good morning. How is everybody out there in YouTube land and Facebook land? Yes, it is time for the Bible reading party. Let's get it started. There we go. The time is now, make sure you can both see it. The time is now 7:14 a.m. Central Standard Time. It is Thursday morning. It is July 9th. 2020. We're in week 28 of reading the Bible. 28 weeks. Yep. 28 weeks of reading the Bible. This is my Bible dictionary that I use from time to time. It is the Nelson's Compact Series. Very cool and helpful for knowing how to pronounce different names in the Bible. Also getting some history and putting things into context as far as different things that's going on. For example, we learned about when David was dancing for joy because of the ability to bring back the Ark of the Covenant, and his wife Michal was getting upset and contemptuous because he was dancing around in front of the maidens. Well, this dictionary gave a little bit more insight into why. It's because his priestly garments probably didn't cover all his manly parts, and she was upset because he was revealing himself. The Bible doesn't say that, but because the people that put together these types of dictionaries, they go into the history and they do a lot more digging and research of the kind of things that were going on during that time, they can give that type of insight. So I'm glad I got my Bible dictionary. This is my actual Bible. This is my New Believer's Bible, compact version. First steps for new Christians. There we go there. It is the New Living Translation. And this is what I read out of, let's say 95, 99% of the time. And on occasion I will read my Quest Study Bible, which has some extra notes in it. Like so, all along the margins, there's extra notes and questions and things like that. So every once in a while I'll pick this up, usually when I'm going through the book of Psalms. I might pick it up for Proverbs, I don't know yet. But for the most part, this is what we're going to be reading. And today is 1 Chronicles 27 through 29. That is the reading for today. And I thank you for taking the time out to join me for the Bible reading party. Especially those of you who are here live. Good morning. I hit the like button. Let's get this party started. Thank you for those of you who are joining me live. And for those who are watching the replay, I appreciate you too. I really, really do. Happy that we can all read the Bible together. Let's see. Let's do a recap of yesterday. I believe yesterday was... Well, let me not guess. Let me find out where we're supposed to be. And as I'm finding out, let me do a screen share. This is my Bible study guide. Now, of course, you guys on Facebook cannot see what I'm doing on my laptop, but if you come over to my YouTube channel, Boulevard 40, or hashtag Bible Reading Party, you can see what I'm showing everybody. Right now, on my screen, there's a gold rectangle, and in that gold rectangle, it says read on the left side. It says checkpoints on the right side, and where it says read, I've been reading. Monday, I read 1 Chronicles 16 through 18. Tuesday, I read 19 through 22. Wednesday, which was yesterday, I read 23 through 26. Okay, so that's where I'm going to do my recap. Today, I'm reading 27 through 29. Tomorrow's Friday. We're going to jump in the book of Colossians. And the checkpoints for this week are an angel's drawn sword, the hope of glory, handwritten by Paul, the veil, cymbals, harps, and trumpets. Those are the checkpoints. Another quick screen share for those who are watching on YouTube. The Bible in 1 year. The Bible in 1 year. I am reading the Bible in 1 year. So I made a website called The Bible in 1 Year. The Bible in 1 year. Yes. Resources will be found on this website, The Bible in 1 Year, so that if you want to challenge yourself to read the Bible in 1 year, you can find methods to do so. And now that that's done, let's come on back and let's do the recap. This is what happened yesterday. Oh, while I wasn't looking, the Wiz jumped in. Good morning. Lots of sunshine here, waiting for the rain. Well, we've got a little bit of clouds, but so far no rain yet. Oh, looks like I'm still buffering on YouTube. Hopefully it cleared up. Hope that cleared up. And you guys let me know on YouTube if sound is good today. I know yesterday there were some sound issues. So while I'm looking at the screen, while I'm looking at the people in the room, let me know before I cover you back up. I wish I could show you what's going on. I probably could. All right. So this is a recap of what happened yesterday. Chapter 23 talked about duties of the Levites. Duties of the Levites. I like pulling it down. Give me some extra coverage in the front. Duties of the Levites. I'm not going to read it, but that's what happened. Duties of the Levites. The Gershonites, which came from Libni. 3 descendants of Shimei. The Kohathites. The Merarites. And these are all the priestly people. In chapter 24, we talked about duties of the priest, specifically the priests, because some of these people were musicians. Yes, some of these people were musicians. We went through a long, not too long, but a long list of family leaders within the priests and Levites, and family leaders among the Levites. And let's see, we also talked about duties of the musicians, duties of the gatekeepers, and then also talked about the treasurer and other officials. So there was a lot of detail going on yesterday of who was who within the Levite clan. Now we start on chapter 27, talking about the military commanders and divisions. This is the list of the Israelite generals and captains and their officers who served the king by supervising the army divisions. They were on duty each month of the year. Each division served for 1 month and had 24,000 troops. Jashobeam, son of, got something going on my phone here. That's okay. Jashobeam, son of Zabdiel, was commander of the 1st Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the first month. He was a descendant of Perez and was in charge of all the army officers. Oh, it looks like I am really buffering badly. Am I buffering that bad? You say I am sounding good, A-OK, but I'm looking at my screen with the time going, and I'm frozen. I'm frozen in time. Yeah. I'm frozen in time. Hopefully you guys can see me. Hopefully, if nothing else, you can hear me clearly. I'm going to keep on with the reading, though, because it's out of my control. I can't control the frequencies or however the live stream is going. For whatever reason, sometimes I have excellent connection and other days I have poor connection, and I'm not doing anything different from my side. So hopefully you guys can hear me clearly without that buffering. All right, Jashobeam is in verse 2. Jashobeam, son of Zabdiel, was commander of the 1st Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the first month. He was a descendant of Perez and was in charge of all the army officers for the first month. Good morning, 40 family, and bless the like button. Miss Nicole, am I buffering badly for you, or is it just on my side? Because it looks like I'm buffering terribly on my side. If the visuals are bad, that's one thing, but if you can hear me, that's the most important thing, because that way people can still listen to me on their commute or while they're doing other things. Let's see. Dodai, a descendant of Ahoa, was commander of the 2nd Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the second month. Mikloth was his chief officer. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, the priest, was commander of the 3rd Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 3rd month. This was the Benaiah who commanded David's elite military group known as the 30. His son Ammizabad was his chief officer. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was commander of the 4th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 4th month. Asahel was succeeded by his son Zebediah. Shammah, the Israelite, was commander of the 5th Division. Buffering, yep, I figured it was. Yep, I figured it was buffering pretty bad. I wish I could do something to change that. If I'm feeling up to it later on after I wake up from my morning nap, I don't know. If it's really bad, maybe I'll go back and record it over, but I can't do anything about it. I can't change it. Now, this is the one time it's an advantage of watching me on Facebook because there's no buffering on Facebook, but there is buffering on YouTube. I don't know why. I wish I had more control over it. Let's see. The 5th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 5th month. Verse 9 says, Ira, son of Ikesh from Tekoa, was commander of the 6th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 6th month. Helez, a descendant of Ephraim from Palon, was commander of the 7th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 7th month. Sibbecai, a descendant of Zerah from Hushah, was commander of the 8th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 8th month. Abiazar from Ananoth in the territory of Benjamin was commander of the 9th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 9th month. Maharai, a descendant of Zerah from Netophah, was commander of the 10th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 10th month. Benaiah from Pirathon in Ephraim was commander of the 11th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 11th month. And Heled, a descendant of Othniel from Netophah, was commander of the 12th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 12th month. I can hear you're just frozen. That's good. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it then. If the audio is good, then that's good. But if the audio is choppy, then that's when it's not good. So unfortunately, it's buffering badly. I can see off to the side where it's catching me every once in a while. So hopefully it's not too distracting for anybody who's trying to watch. But it's a Bible reading, so it's mostly listening anyways. What can you do? You push on and you keep going. So that's what I'm going to do. Verse 16 is leaders of the tribes. The following were the tribes of Israel and their leaders. The tribe of Reuben had the leader of Eleazar, son of Zikri. Tribe of Simeon, the leader was Shephatiah, son of Maacah. From the tribe of Levi, Hashabiah, the son of Kemuel, was the leader. From the tribe of Aaron, the priest of Levi, we had Zadok. From the tribe of Judah, we got Elihu, a brother of David. From the tribe of Issachar, we have Omri, son of Michael, or Michael. From the tribe of Zebulun, we've got Ishmaiah, son of Obadiah. From the tribe of Naphtali, we have Jeremoth, son of Azriel. From Ephraim, we've got Hoshea, son of Azaziah. From the tribe of Manasseh, the west side anyways, we've got leader Joel, who was the son of Pedaiah. From the Manasseh tribe from the east in Gilead, we've got Edo, son of Zechariah, as the leader. And from the tribe of Benjamin, we've got Jaasiel, son of Abner, as the leader. And Dan, the tribe of Dan, had Azarel, son of Jerome, as their leader. These were the leaders of the tribes of Israel. When David took his census, he did not count those who were younger than 20 years of age, because the Lord had promised to make the Israelites as numerous as the stars in heaven. Joab, son of Zeruiah, began the census but never finished it because the anger of God fell on Israel. The total number was never recorded in King David's official records. Officials of David's kingdom. It's a good thing I'm not making really ugly faces, because these faces that I'm making that are getting frozen are quite hilarious. That's okay. I'll just keep smiling. I'd rather be frozen with a smiling face than with a frown. Officials of David's kingdom. Asmaveth, son of Adiel, was in charge of the palace treasuries. Jonathan, son of Uzziah, was in charge of the regional treasuries throughout the towns, villages, and fortresses of Israel. Ezri, son of Caleb, was in charge of the field workers who farmed the king's lands. Shimei from Ramah was in charge of the king's vineyards. Zabdi from Shepham was responsible for the grapes and the supplies of wine. Baal Hanan from Gader was in charge of the king's olive groves and sycamore fig trees in the foothills of Judah. Joash was responsible for the supplies of olive oil. Shitrai from Sharon was in charge of the cattle on the Sharon plain. Shaphat, son of Adlai, was responsible for the cattle in the valleys. Obil, the Ishmaelite, was in charge of the camels. I think this is the first time camels is ever mentioned, isn't it? Jediah from Meranoth was in charge of the donkeys. Jaziz, the Hagrite, was in charge of the king's flocks of sheep and goats. All these officials were overseers of King David's property. Jonathan, David's uncle, was a wise counselor to the king, a man of great insight and scribe. Jehiel the Hakmonite was responsible for teaching the king's sons. Ahithophel was the royal advisor. Hushai the Archite was the king's friend. Ahithophel was succeeded by Jehoiada, son of Benaiah, and by Abiathar. Joab was commander of the king's army. That is chapter 27. That is chapter 27 of First Chronicles. We got movement in the room, so let's see what the folks are saying. You are just frozen, but the sound is excellent, so that's okay. Census. Oh, yes, Nicole. Yesterday there was a census. It's actually a replay or a retelling. It was actually a retelling of what happened in 2 Samuel. Some of this is retelling the story of the census that was told. Now, sometimes it was okay for them to take a census, but yesterday, David, was it yesterday or the day before? David took a census, not because he wanted to, but Satan, good old Lucifer, the devil, the enemy, provoked or tempted David to take it, probably for reasons of pride and reasons just to make him feel good about himself, so that he would trust his own strength and not trust on the Lord. And so it was a big to-do. It was really bad. It was a sin that he took the census, because he was not supposed to at that time, and also because he was listening to Satan. So anytime you're listening to Satan, it's not a good idea. So yes, he was taking that census, but it actually was not recorded in the official records according to chapter 27, verse 24. And now we're on to chapter 28, talking about David's instructions to Solomon. Oh, good old Sonny boy, what's going on here? David summoned all the officials of Israel to Jerusalem, the leaders of the tribes, the commanders of the army divisions, the other generals and captains, the overseers of the royal property and livestock, the palace officials, the mighty men, and all the other brave warriors in the kingdom. David rose to his feet and said, "My brothers and my people, it was my desire to build the temple where the ark of the Lord's covenant, God's footstool, could rest permanently. I made the necessary preparations for building it, but God said to me, 'You must not build a temple to honor my name, for you are a warrior and have shed much blood. Yet the Lord, the God of Israel, has chosen me from among all my father's family, to be king over Israel forever. For he has chosen the tribe of Judah to rule, and from among the families of Judah he chose my father's family. And from among my father's sons the Lord was pleased to make me king over all Israel. And from among my sons, for the Lord has given me many, he chose Solomon to succeed me on the throne of Israel and to rule over the Lord's kingdom. He said to me, 'Your son Solomon will build my temple and its courtyards, for I have chosen him as my son, and I will be his father. And if he continues to obey my commands and regulations as he does now, I will make his kingdom last forever.' So now, with God as our witness, and in the sight of all Israel, the Lord's assembly, I give you this charge. Be careful to obey all the commands of the Lord your God, so that you may continue to possess this good land and leave it to your children as a permanent inheritance. And Solomon, my son, learn to know the God of your ancestors intimately. Worship and serve him with your whole heart and a willing mind, for the Lord sees every heart and knows every plan and thought. If you seek him, you will find him. But if you forsake him, he will reject you forever. So take this seriously. The Lord has chosen you to build a temple as his sanctuary. Be strong and do the work." Then David gave Solomon the plans for the temple and its surroundings, including the entry room, the storerooms, the upstairs rooms, the inner rooms, and the inner sanctuary, which was the place of atonement. David also gave Solomon all the plans he had in mind for the courtyards of the Lord's temple, the outside rooms, the treasuries, and the rooms for the gifts dedicated to the Lord. The king also gave Solomon the instructions concerning the work of the various divisions of priests and Levites in the temple of the Lord, and he gave specific specifications for the items in the temple that were to be used for worship. David gave instructions regarding how much gold and silver should be used to make the items needed for service. He told Solomon the amount of gold needed for the gold lampstands and lamps, and the amount of silver for the silver lampstands and lamps, depending on how each would be used. He designated the amount of gold for the table on which the bread of the presence would be placed, and the amount of silver for other tables. Verse 17 says, David also designated the amount of gold for the solid gold meat hooks used to handle the sacrificial meat, and for the basins, pitchers, and dishes, as well as the amount of silver for every dish. He designated the amount of refined gold for the altar of incense. Finally, he gave him a plan for the Lord's chariot, the gold cherubim whose wings were stretched out over the ark of the Lord's covenant. Every part of this plan, David told Solomon, was given to me in writing from the hand of the Lord. Then David continued, "Be strong and courageous and do the work. Don't be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord God, my God, is with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. He will see to it that all the work related to the temple of the Lord is finished correctly. The various divisions of priests and Levites will serve in the temple of God. Others with skills of every kind will volunteer, and the officials in the entire nation are at your command." That is chapter 28. That's chapter 28 of First Corinthians. Excuse me, First Chronicles. First Chronicles chapter 28. And let's see. This is going to be a short one, I guess. Oh, this is this is the finale. This is the last portion here. Chapter 29 talking about gifts. Gifts for building the temple. Then King David turned to the entire assembly and said, "My son Solomon, whom God has clearly chosen as the next king of Israel, is still young and inexperienced. The work ahead of him is enormous, for the temple he will build is not for mere mortals. It is for the Lord God himself. Using every resource at my command, I've gathered as much as I could for building the temple of my God. Now there's enough gold, silver, bronze, iron, and wood, as well as great quantities of onyx, other precious stones, costly jewels, and all kinds of fine stone and marble. And now, because of my devotion to the temple of my God, I am giving all of my private treasures of gold and silver to help in the construction. This is in addition to the building materials I've already collected for his holy temple. I am donating more than 112 tons of gold from Ophir and 262 tons of refined silver to be used for the overlaying the walls of the building and for the other gold and silver work to be done by the craftsmen. Now then, who will follow my example and give offerings to the Lord today?" Then the family leaders, the leaders of the tribes of Israel, the generals and captains of the army, and the king's administrative officers all gave willingly for the construction of the temple of God. They gave about 188 tons of gold, 10,000 gold coins, 375 tons of silver, 675 tons of bronze, and 3,750 tons of iron. They also contributed numerous precious stones, which were deposited in the treasury of the house of the Lord under the care of Jehiel, a descendant of Gershon. The people rejoiced over the offerings, for they had given freely and wholeheartedly to the Lord, and King David was filled with joy. Verse 10 says, David's prayer of praise. Then David praised the Lord in the presence of the whole assembly. "O Lord, the God of our ancestor Israel, may you be praised forever and ever. Yours, O Lord, is the greatness, the power, the glory, the victory, and the majesty. Everything in the heavens and on earth is yours, O Lord, and this is your kingdom. We adore you as the one who is over all things. Wealth and honor come from you alone, for you rule over everything. Power and might are in your hand, and at your discretion people are made great and given strength. Oh, our God, we thank you and praise your glorious name. But who am I? Who are my people that we could give anything to you? Everything we have has come from you, and we give you only what you first gave us. We are here for only a moment, visitors and strangers in the land as ancestors were before us. Our days on earth are like a passing shadow, gone so soon without a trace. O Lord our God, even this material we have gathered to build a temple, to honor your holy name, comes from you. It all belongs to you. I know, my God, that you examine our hearts and rejoice when you find integrity there. You know I've done all this with good motives, and I have watched your people offer their gifts willingly and joyously. O Lord, the God of our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, make your people always want to obey you. See to it that their love for you never changes. Give my son Solomon the wholehearted desire to obey all your commands, laws, and decrees, and to do everything necessary to build this temple for which I have made these preparations." Then David said to the whole assembly, "Give praise to the Lord your God." And the entire assembly praised the Lord, the God of their ancestors, and they bowed low and knelt before the Lord and the king. Verse 21 says, Solomon is named king. The next day they brought 1,000 bulls, 1,000 rams, and 1,000 male lambs as burnt offerings to the Lord. They also brought liquid offerings and many other sacrifices on behalf of all of Israel. They feasted and drank in the Lord's presence with great joy that day. And again, they crowned David's son, Solomon, as their new king. They anointed him before the Lord as their leader, and they anointed Zadok as priest. So Solomon took the throne of the Lord in place of his father David, and he succeeded in everything. and all Israel obeyed him. All the officials, the warriors, and the sons of King David pledged their loyalty to King Solomon. And the Lord exalted Solomon in the sight of all Israel and gave Solomon greater royal splendor than any king in Israel before him. This is a summary of David's reign in verse 26. So David, son of Jesse, reigned over all Israel. He reigned over Israel for 40 years, 7 of them in Hebron and 33 in Jerusalem. He died at a ripe old age, having enjoyed long life, wealth, and honor. Then his son Solomon ruled in his place. All the events of King David's reign, from beginning to end, are written in the record of Samuel the seer, the record of Nathan the prophet, and the record of Gad the seer. These accounts include the mighty deeds of his reign and everything that happened to him and to Israel and to all the surrounding kingdoms. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the finale of the first book of Chronicles, the first half of Chronicles. And I do thank you for your patience as I am frozen here on the screen. I don't know if that'll work itself out when this is done processing for the replay or not, but that is the end for today. For you guys watching me on Facebook, hope that you enjoyed today's Bible reading. You can watch more of this on YouTube, which is where all my Bible reading parties are held. You can go to Boulevard 40, or you can go to hashtag Bible Reading Party and catch me there. I'm going to do a quick outro prayer as I head on out the door, but I'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. In spite of technical difficulties, I've got one more day behind me, one more day under my belt that I have completed my task, which is to read the Bible every day. There's been some ups, there's been some downs, there's been some technical difficulties, there's been having my channel live stream revoked, there's been all kinds of issues, but regardless, every day I'm putting forth the effort to complete my goal, which is to read the Bible every day, and I hope that everybody else listening to this, whether they're in the live stream or later on, I hope that it encourages them to read the Bible. Maybe not every day or maybe not in a year, but just to read the Bible and get familiar with it, build their relationship with you, strengthen their faith, and find some purpose so they can live their best life. That is my prayer, Lord. Amen. On that note, Facebook, I'll check you guys out tomorrow for the next Bible reading party. And for you lucky people here on YouTube who still get to watch me being frozen, well, let me unfreeze you because it's time for the outro song because I still don't know what's going on. Everything is programmed the way it's supposed to be, so sometimes it just acts weird. Who knows? Let me give you one more look at this wonderful website that I'm working on day by day, little by little. Oops. Well, I was not trying to do that. That's so weird. What's going on? Okay. The Bible in 1 year. Check it today. Check it often. Check out the blogs and let me know what you think about it. Or if you've got ideas of things that can be helpful on this website, let me know in the comments section. Oh, so many technical difficulties. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Time for me to go to bed, but I hope you guys have a great day.